There's nothing like experiencing music live and in person. But at this moment, stages are dark as the COVID-19 pandemic threatens the very existence of live music venues. On Destination Live Music Comeback Road, we're going inside some of West Michigan's favorite music spots to discover their rich histories, take a look behind the scenes, hear how the pandemic is affecting them, and how you, the fans, can show your support. Join us on the path to Destination Live Music Comeback Road, West Michigan.
Welcome, folks, to St. Cecilia Music Center. Ralston Bowles and Michael Crittenden. You are here for a live stream concert tonight, and I'm John Sinkevics with Local Spins, and it's great to have you guys here. So first off, you guys have been in the business for a long time, both of you, as performers and doing other things in the industry, whether it's promoting artists or recording artists. Have you guys ever seen anything approaching what's happened here over the last 10 months with the COVID pandemic?
I think there's probably been things that have interrupted touring, but not on such a large scale.
Not for everybody, and not for the whole
everybody.
globe, you know.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. There's been like little regional things or some kind of disaster or something, but everybody always rallied and got through those pretty quickly.
So financially, emotionally, what's been the biggest adjustment?
Wow. I run out of things to talk to myself about. It has taught me a lot about my own tenacity and my own ability to work through things. You know, I mean, I think about stuff that I should have been working on, and you start to see where the cracks are in your own plan, and then you can kind of start to work on that.
I mean, you're doing recording and you were performing, so it has to be a hit financially for a lot of artists.
Yeah, for sure. I think the studio has been kind of hit or miss for the whole year, and I've been lucky to get a few full-length record projects in the last few months, so that's been keeping us floating. But I just feel so bad for most of my clients who are just not doing what they do. You know, they're just trying to figure out what's next. The bright side of it being, nobody I know that's a musician has said, well, I'm just not going to do this anymore, I'm done. If you're committed, though, you're kind of a lifer, and you don't have a lot of choice in that.
We don't know anything else.
You work through it, yeah, exactly.
So tonight, you guys are going to be performing in this beautiful St. Cecilia Music Center, Royce Auditorium, which is a historic place where some amazing artists have performed over the years, and there's not going to be an audience. And it's going to be live streamed. So this is a new audience or a new way of presenting your music to an audience. What's your impression of this live stream version of live music?
Well, as far as not playing for an audience, that's nothing new, right?
Yeah, there's been some gigs.
Happens all the time.
There's been some
I've
gigs
had a
that
few
nobody
of them,
was there
yeah.
anyway.
The live stream thing, obviously it's something that everybody went to because it's all we could do, you know. My band opted to not do anything early on just because it felt like it was oversaturated. Tonight, I was excited to get this opportunity tonight because it's one of my favorite rooms to play. First of all, it's an actual venue. It's not me sitting in my bedroom with an iPhone. You know, pro video shoot and the whole thing. So that makes it a little nicer than most of the other things that I've seen.
Many of us are probably fortunate, though, too, to have the technology and have this be during this time of technology. Because had this happened where there weren't iPhones or streaming and all those kinds of things, we'd all be having a different conversation, probably.
The things I take for granted keep me in this prison. Sometimes she just got me thinking, and I'm just floating in all of these syllogisms of grace.
Even though eventually concerts will probably return in some manner, shape, or form, will live streams continue? Are they viable? Or do we have to accede to a certain level where the quality has to be at a certain level where people will continue to watch these?
I think some people have found that it actually is more convenient and more, they have as far, if not farther reach with it than they would have in regular touring.
It will continue for sure. I think you're right. The quality will be important to keep people's interests in it. But some people are real good at it, and
They've developed the skills, yeah.
It can be an addition to live stuff, just as a supplemental thing too, that I think that'll continue for sure. Heading out of town, we're driving in your car, we're pulling off the road.
What makes it special about playing in this particular room? Because both of you guys have performed on this stage before.
Well, I think it's the quality of approach to the event. I think there's always plenty of great publicity that they put out. They do quality work on that. I think Kathy does an excellent job.
Said it before I could, but I was going to say, because the executive director is sweet.
I knew I had to get in on
But
first.
she is in the room, all right, so.
Yeah.
I know.
There are rooms that you play in. You don't get greeted at the door. You don't get any of the treatment that.
Yeah, you might not even know.
You might not even know who
or
booked
meet
you.
the person
Yeah.
who booked you or any of that. You just kind of show up
And there's something
meet the
that's-
sound people, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that's what tips you really early on whether or not you're going to have a good night or not, I think.
It was Velvet Elvis leaning on that wall. Velvet Elvis.
This auditorium is historic, St. Cecilia Music Center. What does it mean to play in the physical space? I mean, how does it feel to be on this particular stage?
Well, regardless of the audience being almost non-existent, it's still a great sounding room, and it feels good to play in a real venue. I haven't done it since January 18 of last year, so a full year.
Wow.
Without a venue date. It feels like a real gig if you close your eyes, and it sounds like one, and it kind of looks like one.
It is one.
It is one.
The acoustics definitely are one of the best in this side of the state. There's a few smaller rooms, but for the size of this room and the aesthetics of it all, I'd say it's probably my favorite.
For the singer-songwriter type performer, it sounds great. The sky is getting light, and my boots are wet from walking through the grass.
So what's the strangest thing about playing a live stream?
No immediate feedback, I suppose. If you're well, tonight it'll be fine because I've got Michael and he will laugh at my jokes. There's the feedback helps give you. It's like having haptics on your phone. You want to know whether or not it got through, and some people are better at silence if there's nothing there, and they kind of just roll with it. Some people it's very uncomfortable.
When I go, will it be like James Dean? I don't wanna die slow. No, no, no. When I go, will it be like James Dean? That's how I'd like to go.
So what's the future of live music look like from your vantage point, sitting here right now?
Yeah, it's hard to predict. I think there are certainly an awful lot of people who are missing it from both sides of the stage, either on or in the audience. And there's enough horsepower there to bring it back. As soon as it makes sense for a venue to open, they will, even if it's limited seating. And I think people will go. We got this vaccine in progress, and that's going to only get better and better. And I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, to have a balance between what the venue feels comfortable with having and being responsible for in terms of how many people in the room and how things are taken care of, but also the artists are going to probably need to have a comfort level.
She comes around here every once in a while. I know because I've met her. It's hard to pinpoint her particular style. Sometimes I just don't get her.
Thank you so much, guys, for being part of this, and good luck tonight with this live stream. It was great to have you on board here.
Sure,
Thank you so much.
thanks much for having us. Appreciate it. All the good stuff you guys do.